Good evening, everyone. This is BremSter, and tonight I'm finally coming to you with a puzzle called Search 8 or 9 by Qodec. This puzzle was submitted to me months ago and has been sitting in my queue for two main reasons. The first one is this was sent to me, and then I think like 2 days after it was sent to me or something, it was done by Cracking the Cryptic, and it was like, I'll sit on this for a bit. The other one is my testers turned around and said, yeah, you want to do this when you've got some time, and life's been hectic, but I've got an evening at the moment. I've got a few hours. So I want to sit down and I want to give this a try. It's been a while and I'm curious. It's been sitting at my queue and it's been nagging me. So it's time to make the nagging go away and see if I can actually solve it, because I may not be able to. So let's have a look at it. Now, of course, other things before I get to the puzzle. There is the Cagey constraints pack, which has recently been released a week ago, I think, as of this coming out. Of course, starting in about a week, I think, I'll start releasing the videos for that pack publicly. My Patreon supporters and my YouTube members will be able to see those videos now, but I will be releasing them publicly starting in about a week. I'm also starting work, or we're also starting work. It's not just myself. It's a bunch of people are also starting work on a new pack. And if people are interested in submitting puzzles to that, then feel free to reach out to me. It is going to be a quadruples pack, and not sure how that's all going to work. So there are much more restrictions about submitting packs and everything. But if people are interested in possibly working or contributing to a pack, yeah, feel free to reach out via Discord or email as well. But yeah, let's have a look at this puzzle. Search 8. I should just get to it because this is going to take a while. Search 8 or 9 by Qodec. So we've got normal Sudoku rules. So in every box, in every row, and in every column, the digits 1 to 9 must be placed without repetition. And then we've got search 8 or 9. So a digit in an arrow shows the distance to a cell containing an 8 or 9. It says A8 or 9. I think it should be N. Doesn't matter. An 8 or 9 in the indicated direction, not necessarily the 8 or 9 closest to it. Oh, with 1 pointing to the cell directly adjacent to it. So, for example, if this was a 1, this could be either an 8 or a 9. But it would be possible, for example, for this to say be a 4, and for this to be an 8 or a 9, as long as 1, 2, 3, 4, that is an 8 or a 9. That is messy. Okay, cool. Not all arrows are necessarily given. Right, so of course, because for example, there will be an 8 and a 9 in this column. So if this is an 8, that you don't have to put an arrow here with a 1 and the arrow pointing down. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'm going to restart the puzzle to restart my timer. Let's give this a hope. Now, what you're looking for in any search puzzle historically is arrows like this, because there must be an 8 or a 9 in here, but this is pointing, so this has to be a 1 or a 2. And this is the same. This is a 1 or a 2. Actually, what does that do? So there must be an 8 or a 9 in here, and there must be an 8 or a 9 in here. And I think they've got to be in a checkerboard, because if this is a 1, there'll be an 8 or a 9 here. And if that makes this a 2, and there'll be an 8 or a 9 here. So yeah, there will be an 8 or a 9 in here and an 8 or a 9 in here. Now, the interesting thing is, no, that doesn't mean that at all. I was about to say you can't put an 8 or a 9 in any of these, but that's not true. Normally in a search puzzle, because you're only searching for a single digit, anything behind an arrow, but none of these can be 8s or 9s. So I'm going to mark those as not being able to be 8 or 9. Now, this has a max, this is 1 through 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. And, well, hang on. I was looking at arrows that were close to the border. This is another one too, which means that those can't be 8 or 9. Okay. And again, I've got another checkerboard happening. But this is 3, 4, or 5, which means, because 1, 2, because, and this is pointing to a digit here. Right. Now. One of these is pointing to a checkerboard in this pattern. Remember, one of these is putting an 8 or a 9 here, and this is putting, ooh. So this is pointing to the different digit to one of these. So if this is putting an 8 there, this will put a 9 over here. So these can't be 8s and 9s. That's cool. So if that's an 8 or a 9, this could... No. Ooh. So what's this? It can't put a digit here. This can't put a digit here because it would be a 1. So this can't be 1 or 2. It can't be 3. So this is 4, 5 or 6. Now this can't be an 8 or 9 because this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 or 6. This is 3, 4, 5 or 6. So these can't be 8 or 9. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Those can't be 8 or 9. That can't be 8 or 9. It's too close. 1, 2. This can't be 8 or 9. It's too close. This can't be 8 or 9. It's too close. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That can't be 8 or 9. That could be. That could be. That could be. That could be. Now, but this is putting a digit here, and this is putting a digit here. So these can't be 8 or 9. And one of them is in here and one of them is in here. But only one of them is in here because one is down here. Right, okay. But none are in here at all. Oh, that can't be an 8 or a 9. So that can't be an 8 or a 9. So if that was an 8, that could be a 9. But that can't be a 9 because they're in an X-wing here. That's not an 8 or a 9. That could be. That can't be. This can't be because it's a 3. So in here, I have the possibility of this being one of them, and the other one is going to be in here. Now this... This isn't the place to start marking. This is. That is going to be pointing at either 8 or 9. This is going to be the different digit. And then the other one is going to be over here. This can't be 3 or 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. This can't be 3 or 4. This is 5 or 6. And it puts blue over here, which puts green down here. Because I can't put green in here or down here because... Is that right? Yeah, I can't put it in here. Can I put it in here? Why did I green out those? Right, because one has to be in here, which means the one that's in here is green and the one that's in here is blue. That was the way to mark this. Now this can't be 4. So this is 1, 2, or 3. This is 1, 2, or 3. This is 1, 2, or 3. Now, normally in a search puzzle, you would say now that they can't be 2. But they can because they can point to different digits. And this is 2, 3, or 4. That can't be a 3. So it's pointing to a digit in one of those two. That's a 1, 2 pair. I don't know what's going on. Okay. But we've got blue and green in here. Can I continue this? This... Blue... 3... This is 3, 4... 6, 7, or 8. It's not really restricted. I don't know what it's pointing to. This is this is very restricted. I know what that digit is. That digit must point at that cell. That's the key cell. Because these can't be 8 or 9. So it has to point to one of those. But if it points to one of those, that's a 1, 2, and it can't be. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is a 5. That is a 6. That means that is the blue cell. These are not able to be coloured. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the blue cell. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is the blue cell. That is now grey. That's not a 6 anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4. It can't be a 4. It's a 5 because if it was 4, it had pointed to 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the green cell. This is insane. That's the green cell. This can't be a 3 anymore. It's a 1 or a 2. That could still be the 8 or the 9 that it's pointing at. That's not narrowed that down at all. But this is done, this is done, this is done. This is a 3 now because it's pointing 3. So that's not a 3. These can't both be 2. So they're either here or here. But this must be blue or green. One of those is blue or green. But that doesn't say anything about that. But, well, this isn't a 2 anymore. Hang on, 3, 4. 1, 2, oh, it could be that. This could point to the same digit. It's not good enough, is it? Because this could be 1, 2, 3, and those would be these. Yeah, it could go the other way. If this is 4, it's that, and then that's 1, and that's 2, and that could work as well. But that's pointing at that. How am I going to figure out which one is an 8 or a 9? It's going to have to be one of these pointing at a digit. That's the only way this is going to resolve. Now this is a 3 or a 4. Oh, ha, 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 ha. It has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. It has to be. But it can't be 1, 2, 5, 6. So it's 3 or 4, and it can't be 3 because 3 would point at that. That's a 4. That is a coloured digit. That's beautiful. So these are all 8 9s. These are 8 9. These are 8 9. Don't know which. This is so elegant. I kind of regret sitting on this puzzle for so long. Okay. Now this still could be blue and that be a 1, I think. Now, I know blue is in here and green is in here. So green is in one of these two. Blue is in one of those 3. Is there a problem with that? No, I don't think so. This, well, this is a triple. 3, 4, 7. That's not a 3. But it could... Oh, that 3 makes that the 4. What am I even looking at? Which makes that the 7, taking 7 out of those. But way more importantly, 1, 2, 3, 4. That has to be a coloured digit. So this isn't a 1, that's a 2. So that's a 1. And those are your coloured digits. This is not an 8 or a 9. So this can't be a 2, which it couldn't be. It couldn't be a 4 either. So it's either here, 1, 2, 3. Can't be there. But that still could be coloured. I can't colour that not. Ooh, I hope I haven't made that mistake elsewhere. That would be bad. Now this... or that. This can't be 5. It's 1 or 3. So it's here or here. Oh, 2 means that's 1 and that's 2. Something about these arrows that's completely and utterly gobsmacking me. So that X-wing resolves that way. These are now grey. Now the green is still in here and the blue is still in here. This is so nifty. So these are an 8 9 pair. This is an 8-9 pair in the column. I can put 2 in there though, I think. Okay, so what can this be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. So this is 1, 2, 5 or 8, and it can't be 2. Now that doesn't mean this isn't an 8 or a 9. It just means that, or that must be coloured. What about this one? 1, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8. That's terrible. Well, this can't be an 8 anymore. So 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. So this is only from 3, 4, 6, 7 or 8. And it can't be 8. And it can't be 6. So 3, 4, 5, 6 or 7. It's pointing at one of those. What's this pair? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's the 6 and that's the 5. So this is a quadruple. 4, 6, 8, 9. This quadruple. 3, 4. So this is 3, 4, 6, and 7. Now there's no 6 in those. There's no 4 there. There's no 3 there. That doesn't seem to have helped much either. I got this very, very clearly, and now I'm stumped. Oh, these are grey. Oh, okay, these are grey, because I've got both the 8 and the 9, so that is the 2. So 2 in this box? No. Yeah, green is in here, blue is in here, so this had to be grey, and that's a 2. So this is more restricted now? Not in a way that I'm finding useful. If that's a 3, that's a 3. And that's an 8 or a 9. That's a 1, that's an 8 or a 9. Oh, all of these are grey. What am I even looking at? So that restricts that digit. And those digits, because I've got the 8-9 pair in the box. So this can only be 1, can't be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 7 or 8. This is only 1, 7 or 8. If this is 1, then it's there, there, and there. This would be blue, this would be green, this would be green. Blue would be in one of those two. If this is 1, then it's there and there. If this is 7, it's there and that's a 1. If this is 8, it's there and that's a 2. Okay, what about these? 1, 2, well, it can't be 2. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 1, 5, 7. And this is the same, isn't it? Oh, no, this one can be 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is 1, 2, 5, or 7, because this one can be 2. Okay, now I'm confuzzled. Very, very confuzzled. One of these is going to have to be an 8, I think, in order for the 8-9s to resolve. No, I was just about to make a very, very dumb Sudoku deduction. It would have been wrong. That is a 3-4-7 triple. So that's a 6. So that's a 2. And these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 5, 8, 9. And we know the 8, 9 is blue. There's no 1 there. Two. So which circles haven't been resolved? That one, that one, that one, that one, and that one. And of course those two. This is weird. There's a core deduction here. I'm assuming it's Sudoku. Like there's some really nice Sudoku I just haven't seen. Like 6 is in one of those two. Blue, if blue is in one of those two, or there. If that's, hang on. That can't be blue. Whoa, 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 whoa. Where is that digit in box 2? It's not in any of those, and it's not in any of those. So it's in one of those 3. But if that was blue, then it would be pointing at that and saying that has to be an 8 or a 9. But that could only be blue. So both of those would be blue. So that is not an 8. And therefore it is not. And therefore blue is in one of those 2, saying that that is not blue. Therefore it is not anything. That is blue. Therefore that's a 2. That's a 1. This is not anything. Well, when I say it's not anything, it's not an 8 or a 9. It is one of the other 7 digits. And this becomes an 8-9 pair. And now that is green. That is stunning. Which means green is in one of those 3. But that's not anything. Again, when I say it's not anything, I mean it is not 8 or 9. Neither are any of those. So that's not a 1 anymore. That was championship level. That's magic. Good Lord. I did not look at the CTC video. I have no idea how long it took them to solve this, but wow. So this is an 8 or a 9. So I've got I've got the 8, 9 here. These are not 8, 9. I already had all of that. This 2, 1. So we know 1 is in one of those 2, but no, that still could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No, that can't be. That has to be the 1. So this is the 3, and that must be an 8 or a 9. But it doesn't stop that being an 8 or a 9. But this is an 8 or a 9, which means it stops all of those from being an 8 or a 9. So now this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It couldn't be. But this can't be a 4. So that's 3 or 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If that's a 7, that's green. If that's 3, it's just covered. Now there's a green in one of those two. There's a blue in one of those. 5 or 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one of those two. Now, if that was the other one, I don't see a problem there. These would all be grey. Blue in this box is in one of those three. Yeah. If that was an 8, that could be the green. And I think it kind of has to be from uniqueness, but I'm not going to use that. I know there's a 2 in one of those two. That's an 8, that's green. And blue would be 8. That would be a blue 8, and that would be a green 9. And I think it has to be, but these can't be 1, because then they'd be pointing at those cells. So there's no 1 there anymore. This could be 2, 3, 4, 5s. Yeah, 2, 5, 7 is still possible. One of those is green. We know one of those is green. I'm going to mark that, but I don't know which. This is 5 or 7. One of those. So one of those is definitely done, because it has to be at 5 or 7. So this is grey. But it's not true for this one, because I could have it there and there, and that be a 2. And then both of those, and it could be then sort of those, well, it can't be those two, but it could be those two. And then those, yeah, it could be those, and then those would be, yeah, that would all work, I think. So back to the Sudoku. Back to the Sudoku grind mill. Putting a 5 there. So there's a 1 in one of those two. Actually, it's not. There's a 1 there, and this is 3, 4, 7. And it's not 4. So there's a 3, 7 pair. That's a 4. That's a 3, 7 pair. That 4 looks up taking 4 out of there, making that a 4. So what is these? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 3, 6, 7. Not quite enough, is it? There must be a 6 in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's nothing forced in here. 1, 2, so 3, 7, 8, 9. They are from 3, 7, 8, 9. But I don't know which. One of them is a 3 or a 7, and the other one is an 8 or a 9. This quadruple, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is 5, 6, 7. Well, hang on. This is 4. Oh, this is a 4, 6 pair. Yeah. That's 3, 7. 3. Okay. Got to put a 5 in here. 5 is in one of those two. There's also a 7 in here, which puts 7 in one of those 3. This is not helping me. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 8. One of those, but as I said, it doesn't stop that one from being it. And that could still be. Hang on, that 4 makes that a 3. Which means 3 is in one of those two. Nope. There's another deduction like this, like what happened with the blue somewhere. I know green is in here somewhere. And blue is in one of those, or blue is in one of those. If that was blue, that would be blue. that would be blue. Whereas if that's blue, that's blue. That's blue. And then blue is up here. If this is blue, that's green. Green, blue. And blue is up here. If that's blue, that's green, and all bets are off. But if that's blue, that's blue. Yeah, if either of these are blue, but if that, how do I stop that being blue? I blew this puzzle. What? One is in one of those, but that's not. Two and three are in here. That's not a two. So two is in one of those two. I don't know anything about 4, 5, or 4 is in one of those, but can this be 5, 7? Because that would put them in an X-wing here, but they could be. I could put the blue here and the green here. This would be grey, and they'd all be down here. I don't see a problem with that. Okay, so what is it I'm missing? Can that be the other blue-green? No, that can't be blue and green. It sees blue and green. Because it sees that blue and that green. So that green is in one of those three. I know that. Hang on, blue is in one of those two now. Blue is in one of those two. And green is, that's not, yeah, blue and green have to be in here. Because that can't be blue. And because of the green's in here, green is in here. This is neither it. Blue and green are in here. So that is neither blue or green and is therefore a 5. Which means this isn't a 5. Which means 5 is in one of those two. One of those is definitely... Okay, does that do anything at all? Blue is in one of those two. If this was 8, 9, that would be blue. If this is 5... that would be blue. If this is 5, that becomes blue. If this is 8, if this is 5, that becomes blue. Which could then be either. But if this is 8, then blue becomes 8. But if this is 5, then this becomes an 8-9 pair. That would become 7. That would be an 8-9. That would be a 2, which would work. Damn, if that's a 5, I don't get the order. And I don't think I ever would. How do I disprove that's a 5? If that's a 5, there is my other one. That and that would both be counted. So I'd have 8s and 9s in these positions. Those positions, those positions, those positions. If that's a 5, that's a 7. So there'd be 1 there. So that's not. That would have to be 2, 2, 2, 2. Then I have to resolve all of this. That's not. So both of those would be. And that would be my disposition if this is a 5. And there'd be no way to tell. Is there anything wrong with any of that? Seven is pointing to 1, 2 is pointing to 1, 5 is pointing to 1. All of the arrows work. Three would be pointing to 1. So this would be a 3. But I'd have no way of resolving the 8, 9. So there's... Oh, no. Well, yes, that 3, of course, made that a 7 and that a 3, which made that a 3 and that a 7, which takes 7 out of there. I am missing so much Sudoku. So what is this quadruple? 1, 2, 8, 9. Well, there's no 1 there. 1 is in one of those. There's no 2 there. This is the 8, 9. That's blue. This is blue by Sudoku because it can't be 1, 2. That's 8, 9. This is not blue. That's grey. So this is blue. That was the way to do it. So it's 8 because it can't be 9. That points down here, making... That is no longer blue. That is green. These are grey. They're not 8 or 9. They're 1, 2. So let's... I'm not going to double click because I'll get all of the partially selected. They're all 9. These blues are all 8. There is no 8 in here. This is a 3, 9 pair, so I can take 9 out of here. This is a 1, 8 pair. There's no 3 in here. This is a 6, 7 pair. That's now an 8. So it's blue. No, I said it's blue. That's now the only place for a 9. So it's green and this is grey. So this is a 2, 3 pair. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is a 2, 3 pair. So that's the 2. That's the 3. Now, have I done all my arrows now? No, but there's no 2 here. This is 5 and 7. So they have to be over here. But the 2 looks like making that the 1 and that the 2. This is a 5, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. It's a 5, 7 pair. The 3, of course, takes 3 out of these. These are 2, 4, and 6, I think. So that is the 2. So this is a 4, 6. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 4, 5, 7. There's no 5 there. I think all the arrows are done except these, which are just going to point to an X-wing on 3s and 9s over here, which I'm going to get from this anyway. Ah, that's a 4. That's a 7 because the 5, 7 looked up making that a 4. So that's a 5, that's a 7. These are now 5, 6, and I know the order because of that 5. That's the 6, that's the 5. This is beautiful. You ever get that feeling that you just regret sitting on a puzzle for so long? I do. 2, 4, 6 go into there. Well, there's no 2 there, so that's a 4, 6 pair. That's the 2. Not sure how to resolve the 4, 6. 1, 4, 6, 7. 6, 1, 4, 6, 7. There's no 7 there. There's no 1 or 4 there. There's no 7 there. That's the 6 because of the 5, 7 looking down. So that's the 6, making that the 4, making that the 6, making that the 4. There's no 4 or 6 there. That's the 1, that's the 7. This is beautiful. This is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is 3, 4. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 6. Still not resolved. I'm a little nervous. I'm a little bit nervous. I'm a lot nervous. So the tricks are not done. These are 4, 5, 6, and 7. I am a lot nervous. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. One of these is going to point at... So there's an X-wing over here of 8s and 9s. 1, 6, 5, 7, 3, 4, there's something in this column. There's no 4 in those. That's a 5, 6, 7. So that's the 4, which makes that the 3, which makes that the 4. The 3 looks back, making that the 9 and that the 3. I can be less nervous now. This becomes grey. Now, because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that can only be the 5, making that the 7, which means it has to point at that cell, making it the blue 8, making that the 1. That is so cool. Which makes that the 6 and that the 1. The 9, of course, makes that the 8, which is not green, which makes that not blue because it's the 9. What am I going to use? I'm going to use the 5 to take the 5 out of there. The 6, 7 pair makes that the 5. The 7, of course, makes that the 6 and that 7, which makes that the 6 and that 7. And that is the correct solution. 34 minutes and 14 seconds. I'm glad I'm not racing against cracking the cryptic, but oh my lord, that puzzle was glorious. I didn't see when I started. I mean, I could see some stuff going on with this, but I was not sure how I was going to start that one. But the way that these resolved into pairs... When I first started getting into puzzle creation and even solving, like I remember Qodec, one of the first hard puzzles I tried to solve was a Qodec puzzle. And Qodec spent hours trying to explain to me what it is I was doing wrong. And I was a novice solver, and I didn't understand. And Qodec was patient and helpful. Yeah, one of the many people who was patient and helpful with me while I was an idiot. Still kind of am. But, and one of the people who made me stay in the hobby, or helped me stay in the hobby when I was feeling just completely lost and overwhelmed. And I look back on those days and I'm just so grateful to people like Qodec and to be able to just come across puzzles like this. I mean, I'm not guilty. I don't feel guilty about having sat on this puzzle for so long. I think it's, I think I did the right thing. I needed a time when my mind was fresh, and it hasn't been a lot recently, and giving it some time between when this was solved by the huge channel in the world, and little old me. That's worth it. I mean, I've got nearly 1,500 videos on my channel now, which kind of blows my mind. The scale of this project is the biggest thing I've ever done in my life, apart from, full-time jobs for decades. But it's just insane. And even then, I've never had a single project in any job I've had that has been this huge. This is great. Thank you, Qodec, for the puzzle. Thank you to the testers who recommended it. Just beautiful. Testers who helped, classify what this was for me. This is beautiful. This is absolutely stunning. Thanks, everyone. I hope you enjoyed the puzzle as much as I did. And as always, Good luck with your solving.